Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, Upexi just filed a current report and I am seeing some interesting points about their financial performance that we need to discuss. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This filing comes out just after their latest earnings release, and it gives us a look at how they are doing right after announcing those results. So Upexi Incorporated, trading under the ticker UPXI, has released some information about their financial results for the fiscal third quarter ended the 31st of March 2026. This essentially means their results for the first 9 months of their fiscal year leading up to the end of March. This filing is coming out right after their Q3 2026 earnings announcement. News headlines from May 12th and 13th are already telling us headlines like Solana losses hit Q3 results despite revenue growth. That immediately tells us there might be some mixed signals in their performance. Let's dive into what the company is saying and what it might mean. The main purpose of this report is to inform us about the company's financial condition and its results of operations. When a company like UPXI Incorporated releases its quarterly earnings, they often file a current report to make sure everyone has the official details. The company attached a press release from May 12, 2026 as part of this filing. This press release is where all the juicy details about their financial performance for the third quarter are found. It is being furnished, which means it is not being officially filed as part of their permanent record in the same way other parts of the report are, but it is still important information for investors to see. Think of it as an official announcement that is being placed on the public record. For context, UPXI Incorporated is a company whose common stock is traded on the Nasdaq exchange. Under the ticker UPXI, they are classified as an emerging growth company, which means they benefit from certain regulatory accommodations. Now, let's connect this to the external information we have. The headline Solana losses hit Q3 results, despite revenue growth, is a major clue. Solana is a cryptocurrency blockchain. This suggests that UPXI Incorporated might have had investments in cryptocurrencies specifically related to the Solana network, and those investments have taken a hit. Even though their overall revenue might be growing, these losses from investments could be dragging down their total earnings. This is a significant point for a company in the communication services sector. It shows that their financial results are not just dependent on their core business operations, but also on potentially volatile market investments. The fact that they are mentioning losses related to Solana implies a specific financial event that impacted their bottom line. Their common stock is listed on Nasdaq, which is important because it means the company has to adhere to the listing rules and transparency requirements of that exchange. This filing is part of those requirements. The filing itself does not contain the detailed financial tables, as these were in the press release, which is Exhibit 99.1. However, based on the news headlines, we can infer that the company is likely reporting some growth in their operational revenue, but this is being offset by losses from their investments. This is a classic case where you need to look at both operating performance and investment performance to get the full picture for a company like UPXI Incorporated. With a market capitalization of around $102 million and a very low P/E ratio of 2.7, this kind of volatility from investment losses can have a big impact. A low P/E ratio often suggests that investors have concerns about future earnings or are taking into account some unusual factors affecting earnings. These Solana losses could very well be one of those factors. Looking at the employee count of just 59 people suggests a relatively lean operation. So any hit to their finances, whether from operations or investments, can be quite significant for their overall stability. So the key takeaway from this filing is that it directs us to a press release detailing their Q3 2026 financial results. While the filing itself is brief, it serves as the official notification that this financial information is now publicly available through the attached exhibit. We will have to rely on the news headlines and the press release itself for the detailed numbers. The context provided by headlines and institutional holdings paints a picture of a company undergoing some financial pressures. Headlines about insider investments being down and market value dips suggest past struggles. Major institutional holders like Vanguard and Arrington Capital Management could be watching closely for any signs of recovery or further decline. The fact that they experienced losses from Solana investments is a critical piece of information. It is not uncommon for companies to have investments, but when those investments are in volatile assets like cryptocurrencies, it introduces a layer of risk that can significantly impact earnings. This is particularly concerning when it is large enough to be highlighted in financial reporting and news. The report is signed by Andrew J. Norstrad, the Chief Financial Officer, on May 13, 2026, confirming the official release and acknowledgement of this information. When we see headlines like Solana losses hit Q3 results despite revenue growth, it often means that the company's core business is performing okay. but its financial engineering or investment strategy is causing problems. It is like a restaurant whose food sales are good, but they are losing money on side ventures. Investors generally prefer companies with strong, consistent operational performance rather than those reliant on unpredictable investment gains or losses. For Upexi Incorporated, a company in communication services, revenue growth is positive, but how they manage their expenses and investments is crucial. If these Solana losses are a one-time event, it might be less concerning. However, if this is a recurring issue or an indication of a larger exposure to volatile assets, then it becomes a significant risk factor. The market seems to have reacted to these Q3 results, as indicated by the article mentioning an $18 million dip in market value in February. This current report serves as the official confirmation of the financial details that likely led to such market reactions. So, what is the story here? UPXI Incorporated is showing some signs of operational progress with revenue growth, but their financial results are being significantly impacted by losses from investments, specifically in the cryptocurrency space. This creates a bit of uncertainty about the true underlying health and profitability of the company. The risk I am watching is the source and extent of these cryptocurrency investments. Are these strategic or speculative? And what is the company's overall approach to managing investment volatility? What I am actually looking for is a clear indication of how they plan to mitigate these investment-related risks, or if they will continue to be exposed to such uncertain markets. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.